Today, I'm going to take on the challenge that the Bourbon School, Lauren over there, put in front of me because we're talking about my most interesting whiskeys. Oh yeah, I'm excited. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Bourbon School. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Carlos. Thank you for joining me. Boom, boom. Here on the Whiskey Corner. Truly appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the video, checking out the channel. If it's not too much trouble, please do me a favor and subscribe, because that would really help out. Well, what are we doing today? Well, Kurt over there at SLB Drinks, he put out a challenge. I want to say maybe like a month or two ago, where he was talking about the most interesting whiskeys or most interesting bottles that he has in his collection, right? Or in his bar, whatever you want to call it. And then that started trickling around. So yes, we love these challenges. Started trickling around to a few different channels, and I was challenged out there by Lauren over there at the Bourbon School.
I'm gonna go ahead and challenge Nathan from the Everyday Drinker to do the most interesting whiskeys in your collection.
All right, and I'm taking Carlos at Whiskey Corner.
All right, so you guys have been challenged. Let's see those videos.
So if you guys have not seen the Bourbon School, go and check them out. Great channel. Brian and Lauren are amazing people. They're really cool, and you learn a lot from them. They're not just called the Bourbon School for no apparent reason. You'll definitely learn from them. So go and check them out. But they called me out because they wanted me to take on this challenge. So I have fully accepted, and we're gonna get into this. So we're gonna do a little inaugural cheers, and this is probably gonna be the first one that I'm gonna talk about. So first, cheers. That is so freaking good. And like complex at the same time. So this first one that I'm gonna start off with is one that I didn't think was actually gonna make this list, but after much deliberation, it did, and it is Broken Barrel Honey Smoke Reserva. So Reserve. This is basically a American whiskey, so it's a straight American whiskey finished with Broken Barrel staves, but it is finished in oak, in X honey barrel, and in X sotol barrel. So sotol is kind of like an agave type of plant, so you don't get too much of like the that like tequila taste, but you do get like a weird type of taste. It's usually attributed to like Texas whiskey from what I've gathered. I still really don't know what the hell sotol is, but I do know that I like the taste of it. And this has that. Guys, this tastes like burnt sugar. Hold on, cheers. This tastes like burnt sugar, caramel, that honey influence. It has the leather and the tobacco note. You can hardly even taste the little bits of that like plant, but you kind of do. Like it's like very reminiscent of like agave, but not really. It's hard to explain, but it is so freaking interesting that it does all of this as you're drinking it. It's weird. So that is definitely an interesting one. So another one that I gotta talk about is James E. Pepper. Yeah, so this is the decanter bottle one. This is the one with a nice little bottle that you can then use as an infinity bottle, I think, maybe, if you really want to, I guess. But this came out, and it's 105 proof. This is actually, what is it, batch number 00002, right? So this came out last year, and this is an amazing whiskey, right? The first time that I popped this, I was actually doing a barrel pick with the group and and Josh, so shout out to Josh. And we all came to the conclusion that it was interesting, right? Fast forward to a couple of months later, and I think it's definitely a lot more than interesting, right? So what I'm getting here is like raisins, strawberries, some peaches, cinnamon. I'm also getting like a Dr. Pepper cherry type of note. So it is really interesting, and I guess it's the malt, right? When that malt hits you, you definitely get like that, like, I don't know how to explain it, that like soda taste, but it's like definitely like a Dr. Pepper cherry taste. It's definitely interesting. I do like it, but it took me a little while to get to this. So for that reason, I'll say that it's interesting. This next one, guys, is just one that I've recently purchased, probably a couple of weeks ago, and I have not finished talking about this because this is Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye Caramel Malt. Oh yeah, so I picked this up at MDP Liquors 2.0, and I have gone back to it a whole bunch of times. This is so freaking interesting, guys. So first off, it's uncut, unfiltered. It is barrel strength, so we're getting 117.4 proof, right? And then it is then finished and mixed with a caramel malt, whatever the hell that means, right? So right off the bat, it just sounds interesting as hell, but then you are getting like some oak, some caramel, some frosted flakes type of cereal. It is crazy because then it hits you with the rice spices, but then it goes away and then hits you with like the caramel and the sweetness, then the powdered sugar from frosted flakes. It does some amazing thing, but it's a rye, and I don't really like ryes, right? So I think that is really freaking interesting, and I definitely had to put it on this list. So this one is interesting in how it was made, but then the tastes make it interesting also. So JT Meleck, it's not the first time that I've talked about this. So this is straight out of Louisiana. You can either buy it online or in Louisiana. You will not find this, I heard, in local stores anywhere else other than Louisiana, right? So this one is a single barrel cask strength, right? And this is 107 proof. This is hand selected by Branch Water, aged 4 years, and obviously it's barrel proof. So the crazy thing about this is that it is a rice whiskey. And when you think about that, you're like, what? What do you mean a rice whiskey? Well, instead of like corn, they use rice to make this whiskey. And you would think that it wouldn't taste anything like what you would like, but it does, right? Because you're getting some like dark fruits, some caramel, some brown sugar, some, in some terms, I get like butterscotch, but more like a butter cookie note. Yeah, like a butter cookie type of note. It just goes well together, but then you're getting a little bit of like spices as well. I truly enjoy this, and I think this is a very, very interesting whiskey. So this next one, I think, had the word interesting the most said about it when I first popped it. So I took this to a bottle share, and the whole consensus at that bottle share was, that's interesting. That's interesting. And that's what everybody kept saying. It was just crazy. And basically what they meant is that they didn't know what to think about it. It was okay, but not really, but it was good. But then not bad, but not good. So it was just weird and all over the place. So this is Redwood Empire Devil's Tower. And I actually got this as a birthday present from Matt Acton. Shout out to Matt. Thank you so much, Matt. And this is 99 proof. This is toasted and charred number 3. And this is Redwood Empire's High Rye Bourbon, right? So what I like, it's 45% rye, by the way. So what I like about this is that you're getting some like cherry, like an apple candy. You're getting caramel, you're getting that little bit of like rice spice, but then you're also getting like hints of like apple juice, honey, and caramel all mixed together. It is definitely interesting. I love what Redwood Empire is doing, and they surely did not disappoint with this one. All right, so I have to put a honorable mention, or not an honorable mention, an additional entry is better said, because this is not a bourbon, this is not an American whiskey or nothing like that. This is a Scotch, and this is, and I'm gonna murder the name, I don't know if it's called the Benriach, but this is the Smokey 12. So guys, first off, this is 100% malted barley, right? And then this is finished in 3 different casks. It is matured in 3 different casks: sherry, Marsala wine, and bourbon, right? So I have this here. It's a 12-year-old, and let's go in for a taste. Cheers. That tastes so freaking different, but so good, right? So what I'm getting is some like honey, a little bit of like that beer taste because of the barley. Then you're getting a little sourness from like grapefruit. And I know that doesn't taste good, that doesn't sound good, but if you put like sugar on top of a grapefruit and kind of eat it like that, where it softens the bitterness, that's what that is. You're getting some honey, you're getting some like white grapes, and it just flows so well together. Also getting some caramel in there as well, and some like light fruit notes. So this one I am really liking, and I'm glad I got this. This is gonna be soon a Scotch favorite. Lastly, and this is part of the original 6. That last one was an additional entry, but this last one is a bottle that I do not have, but it is a similar bottle to this, right? So we're gonna talk about Barrel King. Now, Dave from the North Tampa Bottle Club let me borrow his bottle of the chocolate cherry stag Boo-Rye. That was such an amazing bottle, and quite honestly, it was what actually flipped me over to become a member of Barrel King, because I was like, if they're putting out stuff like this, I am in. I am definitely in. So the chocolate cherry stag Boo-Rye is exactly what it sounds like. It is basically a velvety chocolate with cherry, and then you're getting those like stag notes, right? Like the little bite that stag gives you at the beginning, and then it like dwindles away to like the chocolate and the cherry and the caramel and then the vanilla. It goes well together, and it's blended perfectly. So although I don't have a bottle, I guess I kind of cheated there, but it is a Barrel King bottle, and again, I'll put a picture of it here. It is the chocolate cherry stag Boo-Rye. So those are my most interesting bottles of whiskey. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. I know you've probably done this for a bunch of channels, but if you don't mind commenting below and putting what are your most interesting bottles, I would really appreciate that. I'm gonna call out a couple of channels. So I'm gonna call out Tom over there at the Bourbon Jerk. I am going to call out the great Bourbon Bill. And I'm gonna call out again my boy Jason over there at the Whiskey Therapy, or My Whiskey Therapy. So you 3 channels have been called out. You guys can choose to accept this challenge or not. I would appreciate if you do, and I would love to see what you guys do with this and what are some of your most interesting bottles of whiskey. Well guys, please do me some favors, like or dislike this video. Please subscribe, because we're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I know I can get there with your help. We're close to 3,000 right now, so you know, we got a long way to go, but at least it's more than halfway there. So hook me up with that. Please check out the Patreon in the description, as that would really help me out. Lastly, I'm gonna enjoy, actually I already finished my Broken Barrel, but I'm gonna sit here and enjoy my Benriach, or whatever the heck you call this. And I want you to enjoy that whiskey. Cheers.